Welcome to DeFi. You may have heard that. It stands for Decentralized Finance. That may be something new. It's with cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology. So as you enter into cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, you're going to hear a lot of new terms. DeFi is something that is very exciting because of what it enables us as users to do. So I'm going to kind of take a few steps back and talk a little bit about blockchain technology first before I start talking about DeFi, so that you have a little bit of a foundation to be able to understand the impact that DeFi has the ability to do. And with the announcement today that we're going to be able to DeFi our IMC tokens, it really is very exciting to be able to be buying the IMC tokens in a pre-sale, be involved with the IM exchange as it's being developed, and all of the wonderful things that we have available to us as early adopters. So let's talk about blockchain technology. At a very basic level, the blockchain technology, as you can see here, 5 kind of key points. Transparent person-to-person transactions. If you've done any research into current financial structure, you'll know that there are a lot of hands in the pot when it comes to financial transactions. There are a lot of entities that are getting a percent of whatever's going on. Blockchain technology was really developed to be kind of that face-to-face transaction. You know, person to person, I'm going to pay you for goods and services, which kind of has gotten lost in the big financial world we live in today. Next, it's going to promote dynamic and efficient pricing. So if you think of markets determining the value of something, that's exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about the market determining the pricing. Next, we have micro metering and micro monetization. So if you think about a dollar, well, you have a dollar, but it's 100 pennies. Well, what's 100 pennies? Or I'm sorry, what's 100th of a penny? Well, nothing. The beauty of the blockchain technology is there's something now that's 100th of a penny. And so it takes a little bit of openness to learn something new, so to speak, when it comes to thinking about the numbers that are involved with cryptocurrency. When I tell you that there are going to be 21 million Bitcoin and that's it, you think, okay, 21 million, that's a lot. But when I tell you that there are 16 decimal points in one Bitcoin, that means that that 21 million times 16 is the amount of cryptocurrency that is available in the Bitcoin technology. When it comes to IMC tokens, we have 300 million total. We're selling 120 million times 16. Because when you start to think about the amount of financial transactions that all go on, right now, everything's tied to the US dollar. But with technology, it's going to change. We are in the midst of change occurring. And so you've got to be willing to learn something new and something different that may not be familiar to understand a little bit of the power that cryptocurrency has and what it's going to be doing overall. Next, it's going to be establishing reputation. So right now, we're in a wave of a lot of news about cryptocurrency. It's becoming mainstream. A lot of people prior to the last 18 months, if you were in the cryptocurrency space, people kind of looked at you and shrugged. They didn't really they weren't open to learning. Now, almost everybody and their mom and their dad and everybody wants to learn or figure out or something about cryptocurrency. There's a lot of information out there, but I'm just trying to cover some basics so that you understand. And the most important piece for what we're going to talk about tonight with DeFi is enable smart contracts. So if you know anything about computer programming, and what I mean by that is that there is a piece of software that somebody wrote. That's all you have to know about computer programming to understand smart contract. So with blockchain technology, there was an advancement made that allowed a piece of program to be written on the blockchain. That's all you need to know. It's a piece of software. Okay, it's a program. It's just like you run an app on your phone or a program on your computer. There was an advancement made. The initial blockchain did not allow what's called smart contracts. An advancement occurred that allowed smart contracts, i.e. programming, to be saved on the blockchain. Okay, next, what do you need to know or understand about a blockchain? What is a blockchain? Now remember, what I'm talking about right now, I'm not talking about Bitcoin or about Ethereum. I'm talking about the technology that they are built on. Okay, think of it like a car. A car or truck or mode of transportation has an engine. Now, a boat and an airplane kind of have wheels, but again, they have an engine. And a car or a truck or motorized transportation has 4 wheels or 2. Think of, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the designs of all the car manufacturers yet. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm talking about what makes up a car, what makes up a vehicle. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about blockchain. Okay? So we have, it cannot be corrupted. So that's huge. Okay? Decentralized technology. Now, I'm not going to get too far into this, but if you think of the United States dollar or any country's money, it's centralized. It's controlled by the government. So anything that's controlled by an entity is considered centralized. What is decentralized? Decentralized means that there isn't one person or one entity making all the decisions. It's an entire group or an entire connection or an entire network or entire group of users that are making the decisions. There's enhanced security. Again, it kind of goes hand in hand with corrupted. Okay, distributed ledgers, that kind of goes hand in hand with enhanced security and cannot be corrupted. What is a ledger? So back in high school, my dad taught me how to balance a checkbook. And that little book you have with your checkbook is a ledger. You're writing down the checks you're writing and the deposits you're making so that when you get that statement in the mail, you can see, does the balance that you expect to have in the bank match the balance on what the bank says? A distributed ledger means that there are multiple copies of a ledger. So that if there's ever a discrepancy, you can go see what does that ledger over there say versus this ledger and find out where the discrepancy is and resolve it. Consensus goes right along with that. As these ledgers are being created and as it gets accepted to the blockchain as complete, there is a consensus reached that before something's saved on the blockchain, that everybody that's involved with creating the ledger agrees that the ledger is accurate. And last but not least, it's fast. Okay, it's faster than sitting there writing a piece of paper, writing a ledger out by hand, or even trying to do it on a computer and typing it. It is fast. It is utilizing the speed of technology to create all of this information. DeFi stands for decentralized finance. I'm going to say that again. Decentralized finance. This is a very big thing, a very big deal. So up until the blockchain and up until DeFi, you had to have a significant sum of money to earn interest. So think of your bank account that you have, your savings account, that earns a little bit of percent of interest because you saved it in that bank account. Okay. Now, what you really were doing was allowing the bank to use your money in loans, and the bank was paying you back a small, very small percentage. They were keeping a majority of the percentage that got generated from loaning out your money. Okay. Decentralized finance means that it's not a bank. Okay, it's decentralized, so there's not one entity controlling it. And the beautiful part of it is that you control it because it's your account. And I'll explain that a little bit more. I've got 2 more slides left before I go through the IM exchange to explain it, how it's going to apply to us with World Crypto Life. So next, 86% of companies are implementing or looking at services built on a decentralized framework. That's pretty big. 58% of companies are concerned that they're going to lose a competitive advantage if they ignore DeFi. What does this tell you? This tells you that the people that matter are looking at that DeFi. Not just for what I'm going to talk about tonight, but in general, the technology transformation that's happening with blockchain, with cryptocurrency, is groundbreaking, and companies are looking at it. Both how is it going to impact them positively and how is it going to impact them negatively. Okay. Last but not least, if you have a camera or have the ability to take a screenshot, I encourage you to take a screenshot of this. Okay. Yes, this will be on the YouTube channel as well, but for what I'm about to talk about, because I'm going to go to the IM exchange and talk about staking and how we're actually going to be able to do this on the IM exchange with our unlocked IMC tokens. Okay. What is the advantage of staking? Staking is where you're going to basically loan your IMC tokens to the IM exchange. And as I go through that part of the presentation, this will start to make more sense. We've got a lot of awesome things there for what's going to happen and why it's beneficial for us as the holders of IMC tokens and staking them. What does it mean for the IM exchange, for the staking platform? Okay. And then last but not least, what does it mean for the blockchain network and the protocols and again, the back end stuff of what makes IMC token, the Ethereum, the ERC20 network. So 3 key pieces are involved here, 3 key players, all benefit from DeFi. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and pull up our IM exchange. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to go to WCL on the go, scroll down to the bottom, and go to the IM exchange website. So I'm going to pause here before I click on it because I know I went really fast. But we're in the WCL on the go.info. We scroll down kind of near the bottom and we have the IM exchange website. So that's how I'm getting here. You click and it's going to open up the IM exchange. So as a new member, or if you've been here for a few weeks or months, if you have not created an account on the IM exchange, I strongly encourage you to. Because what I'm about to talk about now happens on the IM exchange. It does not happen in your back office. So once you sign in, sign up, you're going to sign in, right? And now you have an account. So we're going to start here. I'm not really going to go through a lot of the IM exchange outside of the part of DeFi. because that's what this video and this training is about this evening. So when you click on trading, you're going to come to the trading area of the IM exchange. And so as you can see here, we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, IMC, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, and Litecoin. Those are all of the coins that we currently have available to trade on the IM exchange. It was announced today on our corporate meeting. Today is May 29th. On June 1st, the ability to stake unlocked IMC tokens. So remember that in your dashboard, you're going to have locked IMC tokens and unlocked IMC tokens. Okay. Once you have unlocked IMC tokens, you'll be able to move them to the exchange. Okay. Once you have unlocked IMC tokens, you will be able to move them here to the exchange and be able to stake them or to participate in DeFi. Now, what I'm going to talk about next may get a little bit technical. If I do, and it's a little bit much, just let me know in the chat box. I'll try to rephrase it so that you understand it. So remember that the IMC token is intended to be used as the fuel for the IM exchange. Now, what does that mean in English? Great, glad you asked. That means that when someone does a transaction on the IM exchange, you may have heard of a term called a gas fee or fees on other exchanges. They will have to have IMC token to have the transaction go through. I'm going to say that again. They will have to have IMC tokens in order to have the transaction go through. That will be the fee in order to have that transaction completed on the IM exchange. What does that mean for us as the people who own the IMC tokens? That means people are going to have to come to us to buy them. Now, with what I'm about to talk about with DeFi, means that I never have to sell my IMC tokens for that to work. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to slow it down. So someone who does not have any IMC tokens finds out about the IM exchange, says, man, it's quick. I want to come buy my Bitcoin and my Ethereum and my Litecoin over here. Okay, great. In order to make a transaction over here, you have to have IMC tokens. So they're going to have to buy IMC tokens. I own IMC tokens, but I'm going to have an option. I can either sell them or I can loan them. So that person that wants to make that transaction has to buy some. Okay, great. But I'm going to loan mine to the exchange, so they're going to be up for sale. But I know that I'm going to be getting them back in a return on top of what I loaned them. So the person that comes to the exchange doesn't know that I loaned the exchange the tokens. They just know that they have to buy the tokens. Okay? And this is the beauty of what we have available to us with the IM exchange, is that we are coming in and buying up to 40% of the IMC tokens that are going to be available. And so I'm going to use myself as an example. So if I have, let's say, 10,000 IMC tokens, and I go and I say, you know what? I want to earn interest. I do not want to lose my IMC tokens. I do not want to sell them because it is an asset. I believe that they're going to go up in value. But I am willing to loan them and earn a little bit of interest, similar to that savings account I talked about. You're putting your cash in the bank. The bank says, I'm going to give you a little bit of a percent if you keep it in here long enough. Meanwhile, what you don't know is happening is the bank's taking your money and loaning it out to people who are buying cars and mortgages and everything else. But you're not earning the percent that they're getting back. You're earning whatever your little percent is on your savings account. Similar here. You're, instead of selling your IMC tokens, you have that option. And I want to be very clear. If someone wants to offer you double, triple, quadruple, you have the option to sell them your IMC token. But then you no longer have it. And you will you would have to pay more than probably what you're going to pay now to get it back. But I'm going to, again, use myself as an example. If I have 10,000 IMC, unlocked IMC tokens, and I go to the exchange, I go to this section here to DeFi, and I'm going to talk about this here in a minute, but I'm going to finish my example. And I say, you know what, IMC exchange, or IM exchange, I'm going to loan you my 10,000 tokens. And at a specific point in time, I'm going to get my 10,000 tokens back and then some. I'm going to get that percentage back. So I gave you my 10,000 tokens for you to use on the exchange to sell so that people can make transactions. But because the utility, and this is where the smart contract part comes into play, because a smart contract can be written and says, okay, Ben's going to loan you to the IM exchange, and on this particular time and date, you get to come back to Ben. Not only are you coming back to Ben, but you're coming back to Ben with a percent of increase of tokens. So I'm going to know that I'm going to loan out my 10,000 tokens so the exchange can operate and people can buy the tokens so that they can make the transactions. But then I also know that my tokens are going to come back to me plus some tokens, because that's my reward, or that's my return for loaning my tokens to the exchange. So for me, my intent is to never sell my initial package. Now I have a number, it's higher than 10,000, but I'm going to have a number of IMC tokens that I will be unwilling to sell. That will be my zero level. Okay. Now, why do I say that? Because I'll have a number. I haven't really determined what it is yet, but that's the number of IMC tokens that I'll have that I will DeFi on the exchange. The IMC tokens that I get back when my balance gets to my zero level, those I will be willing to sell. I'll be willing to trade to generate income, to generate revenue. Because my whole intent is to build a stack of IMC tokens that I'm loaning out to the exchange. Now, there's a lot that's involved with doing that. It's going to take a while to make sure all of that works correctly. From my standpoint as a user, I'm 100% confident that the technology on the exchange is going to be there. But this allows me to do something that only banks are able to do right now. Right now, I can put my money in a bank. That bank can go out there and loan my money out, and I get a very small percentage of that back. And then really, and if I'm being honest, I don't have the amount of money to make that be of value. And when I talk about growing my stack of IMC tokens, I don't know what the stack of IMC tokens that I'm going to need to be able to DeFi, what that's going to look like for it to be of value. It will all depend on the value that the IMC token gets to. I might only need 10,000. I might need 20,000. I might need 100,000. It will all depend. I might need only 1,000. It will all depend on where the value of the IMC token goes. The beauty of the system is that the IMC token has to be used on the transactions for the IM exchange. That BNB token and Binance is the same exact thing. In order to do a transaction on Binance, you have to have a BNB token or part of a BNB token. That's their fees. That's their value. We have that same setup here, and I have the ability to loan the tokens that I have. I don't have to sell them. Okay, now, really quickly, I'm going to show you the area on the IM exchange. So as you can see here, you will have a balance once you've put Bitcoin or Ethereum, USDT, or another stable coin. I'm not familiar with this one. I do know there are updates that are coming. So the DeFi part is being updated on June 1st. So this may look different starting on June 1st. It may look different than what I'm going through now. To DeFi, you would go to asset conversion. So as you guys can see here, I have already converted some of my assets. I basically put $20 worth of Ethereum in here just to kind of mess around a little bit. So once you have your Bitcoin and your Ethereum, you're going to convert them, or in what I'm talking about, the IMC token, that will be added here. That's not here now. Once your IMC tokens are here, you're going to do a conversion. You're going to convert them into what the exchange can use. Okay, so you're going to do a conversion here. And then as part of that, you're going to determine how long you're going to loan your tokens to the exchange. Are you going to do it for a short term, mid-term, or long term? Staking, fixing, or parking. Okay, so you're going to choose how long you're going to do this. Okay, then you're going to convert them, and then down here you can see once it's converted, then you can switch them back. So if I go here and I say, all right, I want to have everything come back to me in Ethereum, this is going to show me how much Ethereum I would get back. Okay, and then I will be shooting another video about all this exact process. This video is just about DeFi and why it is so valuable to what we are doing here with World Crypto Life, and the beautiful part of it that we have with the IMC token being the gas or the fees for the IM exchange, and that as our tokens are unlocked, we have the option to never sell them, but still earn a return by loaning them back to the IM exchange. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop sharing my screen safely.